all your problems would disappear if you stopped calling them problems and you just started focusing on the solution. It really is that simple. You're overcomplicating it because because the problem is right in front of your face. The problem is right in front of your face, so you can't help but look at it. But what if you just stop calling it a problem? And like even looking at the problem, you see that the solution is already taking place. That is what it means to live in the wish fulfilled, is to live as if your solution is here now. It's not coming, it's not happening. You're not unfolding, you're not becoming, or people say becoming her. You're not becoming her, you are her. You're not becoming wealthy, you are wealthy. What are you saying I am to? In this video, we are going to be talking about the importance of what you are saying I am to. We're going to be talking about imagination, the power of your imagination. And then we're also going to be talking about getting your nervous system familiar with the end, right? Making your desire normalized so that you don't have it on a pedestal. You don't have it as this grand thing, because when you make it grand, you start to think about all the ways of how it's going to happen, and then you find yourself in the middle. And I'm telling you, get the hell out of the middle and just go to the end. A lot of you, right? You have this vision, you have this idea, you're a visionary, so you constantly get these grand visions that are, you know, meant for you, and only you can um even hold the vision, right? Some people, they struggle with even holding the vision because they don't allow their minds to think that big, or even in their imaginations, they like limit themselves. You don't limit yourself in your imagination. Your block, or not even block, but I would say where I'm here to support you is just like getting you out of the middle, because you have grand visions, you know how to create the visions. You are just in the middle, still trying to figure out the how. And that's not your goddamn business. It's not your business. So let's begin with being in the I am. And I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, but that's okay. I haven't recorded a YouTube video in a minute. Y'all, I'm in Bangkok now. And yeah, I'm just getting used to. We've been here for a week now, so y'all know I was just in Malaysia. Now I'm in Bangkok, and I'm just trying to get used to being here. Had to figure out where I'm going to be recording, like all this moving. uh, I was like, oh, we're going to be travelers, but now I'm like, we need somewhere stable, and I'm thinking Bangkok is going to be the place because I love it here so far. So I'm thinking this is where we're going to be long term. But yeah, I need some stability, especially with a little one, and just I feel like I'm very I like to think I'm a type B person. I think I'm like type A, type B, but I'm like very disciplined, structured. I like to do things at a certain time and things like that. So a lot of the moving, and it really is messing up my, the structured way that I like to live. But enough about me. Just explaining why I have not been making content, why I have not been making videos the past couple weeks. Here I am. And let's get right into it. So, what are you saying I am to? Are you saying, I am still trying to figure it out? I am not sure. I am wondering. I am worried. I am confused. If you are saying those things, then why are you surprised when you look into your reality and you see a reflection of what you're saying I am to? Make it make sense, honey. Make it make sense. Your confusion starts with I am. You are looking through. It's this quote, and then like a man thinketh. He says, for reality is your looking glass. Damn, I don't remember what it say before that. I'll put it in here, but it says for reality is your looking glass. I feel like this lighting in the back is like contrasting with me. Let's close that. I think I like that better. I think I like that better. But yeah, reality is your looking glass, and if you are calling in abundance, if you are calling in more visibility, if you are calling in clients, if you are calling in support, love, a better career, a change in location, whatever it is that you're calling in, stop calling it in and claim that you are it now. You don't need the evidence of your senses to confirm to you or to validate you that you are there. All you need to do is to feel as if you are there, because that is what's going to actually rearrange the cellular structure of what you call reality. What's actually going to rearrange it is not the forcefulness of doing something. This is not a hardened reality as much as it seems that way. It appears that way, but it's not that. It's very much malleable. It's all atoms dancing. Diamonds on me dancing. Atoms on me dancing. It really is. I didn't have my glasses on yesterday. I was looking into the room. Everything was just vibrating, and I was like, "Yo!" It was like everything was. I mean, everything's always vibrating, but I feel like I could see it. You know, it was like lines, and it was like real distorted because my vision was so blurry. And I was like, "Yo!" I said, "There really is no separation. Like even in my vision, I can see that. Like I know that beyond the vision, but there really is no separation. Um, you know, the clearer you see, like with these eyes, it it tends to like make structure seem very fixed, but through blurred vision, with blurred vision, everything just kind of like morphs together, and that's actually and factually what's going on. So when you're thinking about how it's going to happen, you're trying to handle that through manual. Well, if I do X, Y, and Z, then then I'll get Z. If I show up more online, then I'll get the followers. If I work harder, then I'll make more money. If I put myself out there more, then I'll find somebody that I'm a match with. You're thinking it's about what you're doing, and it's not. That's the old model, the old paradigm of reality. It's just about accepting that you are there now and claiming it. I am already in a healthy relationship. I am already wealthy. I am living the life of my dreams. I am the woman who I've always wanted to be. I am not becoming, I am. And when you say that, like I said, it's atoms on me dancing. It's just dancing. The shit start to dance differently. And then you look up and reality has transformed before your eyes. You're looking at something that you used to imagine simply because you said I am. And you stop trying to figure out the how it's going to work out. You left that alone. So if you say I am wealthy, and then your mind goes, okay, but how am I going to get the wealth? How am I going to get the money? Where is it going to come from? What should I do? Who should I call? Where should I go? Just go back to I am. I am already that. I am already that. But then some of you say, okay, I get to say I know I say I am, but now what do I do? Why do you keep asking that? That's none of your goddamn business. Just trust it's going to get done. Right? This is why it's so important to surrender, to just trust that every I saw Pia the fairy. She made a post on Instagram. I literally just saw it. And I'll put it here. But she said something like, instead of worrying about what choices you're making, just identify as someone who makes great choices. So you make great choices. How you're gonna get there, you don't know, but you're somebody who makes great choices. So you, you know that you'll figure it out because you're somebody who figures it out. Like, what is the identity again? What are you saying I am to? Are you saying I am to being someone who needs to have all the answers before you take a move? You need to have everything in place before you jump, or are you someone who jumps and it just always works out for you? That is an identity. An identity comes from what you are saying, I am too. because you are the great I am. And whatever you say is what you become. You are conscious of it too, which is super fucking cool. Because like my watch, right? My watch, for example, it's a heavy rain. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I get an umbrella before we go pick up Samaya. Samaya's in daycare now, guys. We just enrolled her in daycare, so definitely about to get to work. But Samaya's in daycare, and it's just nice. It's nice to have her doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. We all doing our thing, you know. Um, who is this? But anyways, it's 91 degrees right now. It's hot as hell in Bangkok. Um, my watch. Well, as far as I know, it's not conscious. It can't claim to be anything other than a watch. You know. But because there's a conscious observer here, there's I can claim to be whatever the hell I want, and then that becomes the shape. Or maybe this watch did claim to be a watch. Maybe it wanted to be. I don't know. Let me not even go there. So yeah. Anyways, what are you saying I am to? Second, imagination. Imagination creates reality. I remember looking at my world around me, right? Looking at my world around me as I was going for a walk. I knew I wanted to come to Southeast Asia. My boyfriend said no. I said, I don't give a damn. I said, this is what I want. He'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. He was worried about finances and shit like that. He was worried about the middle, baby. I don't worry about the middle. I go to the end. So I would go for walks with my daughter when we were in Denver, and I would look out at the trees on the sidewalk, and I would see palm trees. And I would see us in Southeast Asia. At the time, I thought it was going to be Bali, but I imagined we were there. I just saw it in my imaginal act. And then even as I would visualize every day. And in my visualizations, I would see me walking out of the door in Bali, right? And see them in the pool playing in our villa. And I had a whole scene. And I would get myself in a drowsy state, and I would just create images in my mind. And I believed those images. And that was it. I said, okay, it's done. And then I would move about my life as if it was done. Not all the time, but I did. I did it long enough for it to become a reality. And I would say I consistently always you always do it. You just probably not super aware of it, but you're always doing it. You're always imagining something, and then like you give it all the tones of reality, right? You're hearing it, you're smelling it, you're touching it. Like you get really lost in your imagination. And then some version of it, right? It's not always that exactly, but some version of it comes, and sometimes you act confused, like you don't know why it's there. It's as if you hadn't been practicing and rehearsing that scene. That is the power of imagination, and that is why you need to start visualizing. You need to start imagining. That is the most useful tool of reality creation, because it's all imagination anyway. Imagination is reality. Reality is your imagination. You are not experiencing a fixed real world. You are experiencing your dream. The same dream that you experience at night, baby. We here with it. You are dreaming me. Isn't that cool? So that's what's happening right now. That's why there is nothing more powerful than imagination. Nothing that's more powerful, because things happen quickly with imagination. Very quickly when you just imagine and then live in the end. And you live in the end through your beliefs, through your identity, through what you're saying I am too. And lastly, by getting your nervous system familiar with success. Y'all ready? Because this is the one. The the reason why people have a hard time in the middle with trusting and all that other good stuff is because they don't know how to relax. They don't know how to surrender. I told you to surrender earlier, didn't I? Mother don't know how to surrender. Oh, excuse my language. People don't know how to surrender and just relax and just be in the answer, be in the end. Because you're looking at your problems, you're looking at what's going on around you, and you're like, this is, bigger than me. Like Neville said, uh I mean Neville got this from the Bible, but he said that they appeared as grasshoppers amongst the giants. So you are appearing as a grasshopper amongst, and your problems are like the giant, and you are a grasshopper to your problems, not realizing that it's just a perspective shift. Change your perspective. You are not the grasshopper, you are the giant. Grow. How do you grow? Through perspective, through what you are saying I am too, through remembering the truth of who you are, which we go get into in the next video. But the way to become a giant and remember who you are is by learning how to relax. And if you are always in a state of panic, of stress, your body is like full of trauma, you are in a high alert state. So it's more difficult for you to relax, to take it easy, to surrender, to really be in your feminine and just let things come, let things flow. Trust. Your nervous system is very dysregulated. So that is why it's important to not regulate your nervous system by, you know, relaxing, taking it easy, taking the load off. Like, yes, that's important. You know that. But also by teaching your nervous system to get familiar with what you want. You just want to make sure that you are learning how to feel all of your emotions. That's it. Because you stop shutting down, you stop going into your very familiar patterns of responding to stress when you teach your body how to hold stress. That's it, that's all. You teach your body how to meet stress, how to rest in the stress, how to rest in discomfort, how to rest in being um, dysregulated. Then you start to normalize what you want. It's no longer something that seems so out of reach. Because when something seems out of reach, your body will go into panic because again, it's trying to figure out the how and da da da. And even though if you tell yourself, it's not my job to know the how, I'm in the end, I'm here, that's nice, it helps. But to add a layer on top, to like really put the cherry on top, it's also teaching your body that you are there and to create enough space within yourself, within your nervous system, to hold the duality of what you're calling in, to hold the duality, to hold uncertainty. Because not knowing the how is very uncertain. You don't know. And to not know feels like danger in your nervous system. It's very dangerous to not know. So to not know equals danger. When danger is signaled, you go into very familiar patterns, and those familiar patterns are usually the evidence or you responding from not knowing and not having. So you just keep in the same cycle. And it's not even because of your actions, but it's based on the frequency from what you're doing those actions from, which is trying to control, trying to stay on top of, trying to make sure it happens. If you knew how to do it, you would have did it already. You don't know. So that's why it's important to let go. You don't know. That's why it's important to let go. Okay. I feel like this has been all over the place. I ain't made a YouTube video in a minute. You can tell. It's probably been about 3 weeks because, yes, it's been a minute. But next video will be a bit more organized, okay? And I don't have my iPad either. I left my iPad and I left my freaking laptop in Malaysia. So I have a friend that we met in Malaysia that's shipping it back to me. I'll have it by next week. So then I can stay on track and because I like having an iPad because it keeps me from being all over the place and all those good things. But That's all I got for y'all. I'll be talking to you soon. I'm just having a good time. I feel good. It's nice. I like this little room I'm in. Maybe I'll record here. Maybe I'll record on another floor. Who knows? Y'all, my background gonna keep changing simply because I keep moving. But hopefully in the next 3 months, once we get our visa situation, come on. Once we get our visa situation figured out, we will have a more stable place. So then I'll have a more stable place where I'm recording. And that will be better. So yeah. This is the Sky Lounge. Let me show y'all. Oh, I need to go hit the gym. Is this about to die? No. This is the Sky Lounge here. So this is where I am recording. It's pretty. It's pretty in here. This is my first time coming in here. And we've been here a week. Maybe I could have. I like this little fake plant. Not my phone about to die. I like this little fake plant. It's cute. I could have recorded right here. Oh shit! I should have recorded right here. What? How the? What? Welcome to the Taylor Show. No. I didn't even say my tag. I am Beyond Taylor, and I am here to help you go beyond your self-imposed limitations. All right, let me get on up out of here. I love y'all. I'll be talking to you soon with a bit more organization